I work, yeah, so he hasn't been paying me for the longest. And I have 2 old co-workers too, like, in my vaults too, so you guys are like, you're doing this for a reason. You've been doing this since fucking forever, so.
Thank you for saying that.
I'm here to support you.
I've been an actor for 5 years, and this was by far the worst experience I've had on any set, and it was a Dhar Mann set. In fact, this incident was so terrible that it actually caused my working relationship with Dhar Mann Studios to end. I was replaced, and then I was unfortunately ghosted, which I'm used to. By women. What are we talking about again? Anyway, I get it. I'm not entitled to any role, but it doesn't help when he creates a false sense of security as an actor, as well as a false sense of loyalty. But at the end of the day, it's his decision. None of these parts were really written for me, right? That's what I thought until my friend reached out to me a couple months later after being ghosted. And he was like, yo, I can't wait to work with you again. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, your name is on the script. He sent me a picture of it. And I was like, that's weird and extremely hurtful because they never even contacted me nor even reached out to me. And at this point, I was kind of okay with it. I didn't really care too much. You know, after the working relationship with me and Dhar Mann ended, I actually got to take a step back and see how toxic the relationship really was. And it was a blessing in disguise. So what happened? What was the reason that it all came down to this? In order for me to explain that, I need to talk about what happened on that set that day. This was the set of Controlling Girlfriend Gets Dumped. We had a scene that literally took all day to film, and this scene was an absolute nightmare because we were supposed to film another scene after that, but it got pushed back to the next day and production got delayed. So what caused this? There are 3 main reasons that made this very difficult to get through. The first one was the director. I love this guy, and I just want to say that his style just didn't really fit Dhar Mann Studios. He's very meticulous and very detail-oriented with all the shots that he took, which didn't fit Dhar Mann because he was pumping out content super quickly, and we had to get through it real quick. Every time something messed up the take, we would take it back from the beginning, which is not very normal in film. You just kind of go back from where you messed up and just kept going. And you got to understand that this scene took about 7 to 10 minutes to get through. So if we made a mistake within that 7 to 10 minute time frame, we would have to start from the beginning. Number 2. Dhar Mann Studios is located right next to a freaking airport. So every 2 to 3 minutes, the planes would fly over and ruin the take, and we have to take it back from the beginning. Number 3, accidents. Sometimes when actors forgot their lines or messed up, it happens, we have to take it back from the beginning. But the biggest accident that happened on the set was the waiter, and no hate towards this guy. There's a scene where he delivers green juice and he accidentally spills it on me. We have to wait for my clothes to dry, we come back 1 to 2 hours later, and he spills it again. And all of this delayed production. So I found out why they stopped working with me. A very trustworthy source at Dhar Mann Studios told me that they pinned all these delays on me just to save their own asses. Everything that could go wrong on this set did, and to Dhar Mann's credit, none of this was directly his fault. But how he handled the situation afterwards was. And pinning everything on me, ghosting me, and then replacing me is not the answer. This mixed with the bad pay and toxic relationship is why we stopped working together.
Wow, what the heck is going on? Hey, Colin A. Borden here. I don't normally like to do serious things anywhere, but especially here on social media because I think it's a rather frivolous sort of thing. And as an actor, a writer, director, I just think of myself as an entertainer, and I like to do entertaining things, even if that's me pretending to think that I'm going to die because I ate unwashed peppers. But now I am going to talk about something a little serious because, you know, if you've been following my page or other people's pages from the show that I'm on, you probably know that some stuff is going down. So I want to give a little bit of an explanation about it. Essentially, as an actor at Dhar Mann Studios, I am just a contract player. I have no employment there. I am just sort of called every now and then, as are all the other actors. And it just is not sustainable. And there are a lot of issues at hand here, but one of the main issues is that not a single actor that works at Dhar Mann Studios can afford rent. This is a show that has millions of views across multiple social media platforms. Videos are shot, edited, posted, repackaged as new videos, reposted in other places over and over and over and over and over again. racking in millions of views, ad revenue, all this sort of stuff. The studio has continued to expand for some time, my entire tenure there. When I first started, we shot everything, as I've told you guys on lives and things like that. We shot everything in an apartment building downtown, in an apartment, not even the building. Occasionally we would go to the garage of that building, but it was really just all in one apartment. And now there are 3 sound stages in Burbank. But things haven't really gotten better for us. And again, I don't want to go into specifics because it's kind of a big thing and it's really just between us. But I think that people should be aware of why we are protesting, why we are out there right now. We've been talking to a lot of actors. It's the same. Everybody feels the same across the board. The trouble is there's a culture at the studio of if you talk, you're out. So we decided to come together as a group and talk collectively with our boss, Dhar Mann. We sent a letter to him, a hard copy and an email. The email was CC'd to the head of production as well, so that we made sure that Dhar got it, but it was addressed to Dhar. It was delivered to Dhar. That letter was forwarded to the HR department, which we are not employees of Dhar Mann Studios. We are contract players. So exactly what we have to do with HR, we're not entirely sure. But it was forwarded over there. We were contacted, said we could have a meeting to discuss our issues. That meeting was pushed several times, changed on us. When we finally got to the meeting, we had reiterated that we wanted it to be with Dhar. Dhar was not there. And we said, well, we are not going to have the meeting until Dhar is here. You guys can be here, the head of production, the head of HR. That's great. We'd love for you to be there too, so everybody's on the same page. But our meeting is with our boss, the person who signs our contracts, Dhar Mann. Thank you very much. Please get back to us with a time for the next meeting by next Tuesday. Just a time for the meeting, not necessarily the next meeting, but by Tuesday. We said this in person. We reiterated it a few minutes later via an email. We checked back in following a couple days, reiterating again, we would like to speak specifically with Dhar. This is what the meeting is about. This is our boss. This is who we want to talk to. End of the week comes and goes. We learned Saturday there will not be a meeting. Meanwhile, a lot of other stuff has happened at the studio. Some not great stuff. Whether it's connected or not, we don't know because no one's talking to us. So that's why we're here right now, because all we wanted to do was sit down and have a conversation with our boss. That didn't happen. We were told explicitly that there will not be any meetings and that any issues that we have can be written down and forwarded to HR. And that's just not acceptable. So that's where we are right now. The work that I personally have done at Dhar Mann, I'm incredibly proud of. I've built an incredible community over there of coworkers and fans. There's no denying that Dhar Mann is in my obituary, whether I go tomorrow or in 50 years or whatever. It's done. I've loved my time at Dhar Mann, and so much of that has to do with people like you who are watching this little video right now. So thank you to you. Thank you for being a supporting fan. Thank you for just watching. Thank you for just being a part of the community that we've built. The goal is to keep going to work, to have a conversation with Dhar, and to keep working at Dhar Mann Studios with the people that I love, doing the work that I love. We'll see. Thank you. Sincerely, thank you very much for all the time and support.